Hi, I'm Stephen. Welcome to your Leadership Questions Answered. On this channel, I answer questions from my thousands of online leadership and management students, as well as common queries I get from people that attend my programs in person. One of the most common complaints I hear about wasting time at work relates to time spent in meetings. So I'm going to share with you the 10 rules to make meetings useful every single time. Now, because there are 10 rules, I'm splitting this video into two parts. So here are rules 1 to 5, your meeting musts. The first thing you should always do is have a strong reason why for your meeting. So this is not your agenda, I'll get to that. This is your reason for having a meeting in the first place. Why do you need a meeting? And is a meeting the best tool for dealing with that reason? So what's the trigger for the meeting? Why do you need to get together? Here are some legitimate reasons for a meeting. We've had a problem and we need to find a solution to this thing that's happened, and a meeting is seen as the best way to deal with it because we can get all the people involved with the problem together to come up with solutions and actions. Fair enough. Another reason. As a team, we need to review yesterday's performance and identify actions in areas where we didn't meet the targets. Fine. Another good reason. We're about to start a new project and we want to ensure that everyone knows their role, expectations, reporting, project controls, all that stuff. Fine, another good reason for a meeting. There's lots of reasons for meetings, but you need to be sure that you are clear about two things. What's the trigger for the meeting? And is the meeting the best way to deal with this? In other words, could you do it a different way? Maybe an email, maybe an informal conversation works just as well. So be really clear about why you're having a meeting. The second point seems similar to the first one, but is important in its own way. And that is to have a SMART goal for the meeting. Now, SMART, S-M-A-R-T, is an acronym that stands for goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If you'd like to know more about SMART goals, check out the link below to my masterclass where I go into it in a big way, including why I use relevant for the R instead of reason why. Suffice to say, for your meeting, be really clear what outcome you want for the meeting. So how's that different from the first rule, reason why? Well, your reason why is the trigger, the problem or the opportunity for the meeting. But the goal is what you want as an outcome from the meeting. The goal should be written in such a way that it can actually be achieved within the framework of the meeting itself. You know, in reality, you cannot fix the XYZ problem in the meeting, but you might be able to identify the root causes and come up with a set of actions to fix it after the meeting. So make sure that your goal says something like, by the end of the meeting, we will have identified the root causes of the quality issues that we've been experiencing and have a set of actions to resolve them. That's achievable within the meeting. Next, point number 3 is the agenda. So the agenda is not just a list of topics that you think might be relevant. No, think of it as a roadmap. A roadmap to your destination, your goal. How are you going to get there? The steps on the agenda become the milestones for you to get to your destination. These are the things that you're going to need to cover in order to achieve your goal. If you're having a meeting because you've had the XYZ problem, your goal might be to identify the root causes of that problem and come up with a set of actions. And your agenda then might be something like, point 1, summarise the problem and the reason for the meeting. Point 2, get feedback from team members to identify the areas we need to look at. Point 3, use a root cause analysis tool to identify root causes. Point 4, identify possible solutions. Point 5, assign actions, and so on. Alright, the fourth rule for having successful meetings is to get the right people there. Who are the right people? These are the people who can actually help you achieve your goal. No, not just anyone with a passing interest in the topic, but the people who can really help you achieve your goal. When you invite people to your meeting, I recommend you actually include in the invitation a clear reason why we're having the meeting, the SMART goal, the agenda, and if possible, why you're inviting them. This sets up realistic expectations about why they're being asked to attend, and you're likely to have a more engaged set of attendees. Knowing why you're going to a meeting tends to increase your feelings that you want to go. The fifth meeting must is get the logistics right. Make sure you've arranged it properly. Boring stuff like a room, a screen, flip chart, documents, data, whatever you need. Make sure you've got all those in place. What do you want individuals to bring to the meeting? If you forget to do all this stuff properly, you might find that you're wasting time during the meeting. Often the beginning of meetings can be quite chaotic as the meeting organiser messes about with IT or has an argument with someone else who thought they had the room booked all day and so on. My strong advice is to have a clear system, preferably electronic, where you book resources and rooms and stick to that system regardless of seniority. In other words, if you haven't booked it, you haven't got it. Okay, so that's a summary of rules 1 to 5. Catch my second part for rules 6 to 10. And don't forget, if you want more detail and you think these lessons are valuable, there's many hours of training through my courses that you can access using the links below. That's it. Thank you for joining me. See you next time on Your Leadership Questions Answered.